They didn't snipe one of these items, did they?
Um, well, it says it was dropped. I think usually what happens is if it has been stolen, it'll say unknown. It'll like give
Oh,
the
okay.
item to the other team, but it'll say unknown because it's not known who it's carried by. However, I do remember seeing Telescope drop next to Lil's name. So
It's possible. It has a radius now, but you totally, if you're kind of fighting in the jungle and neutrals get brought down, it is definitely still possible. Was it neutral items do not drop if there is an enemy killing player within 600 radius of the killed neutral unit. So you can still be pretty near, especially like a storm spirit. You know, you're far enough away when it dies, but then you can zip in.
yeah, 600 is not that big. It's like half a blink dagger range, pretty much.
Yeah. A maximum of 4 items can drop per tier for each item.
So let me ask you this: how do you feel about the neutrals this far into the patch? Like, are you sold on them being the new way forward with Dota, or
Um,
what do you think?
I don't know. We've talked about this a lot on the podcast, and it has definitely changed over time. I think I want to like them, and I really liked the way pubs felt when they were introduced, but I think I just like the chaos of new content when people are trying to figure things out more than
Sure.
I liked these items as an introduction. At first, they felt almost too impactful, and now it feels like every change that we make that makes them less significant. You know, we went from using all of your inventory slots, now having one slot, went from having all these really broken ones to having those removed. Like, they're getting more and more watered down, and every step to water them down, I like more, which makes me wonder what's the end game here, and am I
Sure.
just on this track of, yeah, I kind of just want them removed. If every step to having them down that spectrum makes me happier, then that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think we're getting close to this point where we're just adding another currency. You know, I've read about that token solution. Oh, just drop tokens, then you can buy the items. It's like, well, we've got gold for that. Why don't we just make these items that you can buy then? Like, what are we doing here?
Right. Yeah,
As
I
Trent
definitely
said,
feel like
they feel like buffs.
yes. Yeah. I feel like 724 is definitely the patch that 723 should have been. It's like the refined version of that big patch. But I also tend to agree. Like they are significantly less impactful than they were, but you definitely still feel. And I remember, I think it was during the major qualifiers, they actually had No Tail and Seb come on Gork's stream after they won the qualifier, and they let a little information slip about how they kind of just view the game as like, well, you control the map, you get your tier 3s, the other team doesn't get their tier 3s, and then the game's over at that point. So
Yeah, we were definitely at that point where there were too many non-Dota objectives. When you had all these outposts and the shrines and the bounties, it was just too much, to the point that it felt like we were almost playing a different game. And then that point you just made where it's just too mechanical. There's no art anymore. It's just you get ahead, you starve out the map, and the more you starve them, the more you snowball. I don't know. I think talents were one of the best things introduced to Dota in the last couple years. You know, the new heroes have been cool, whatever else. I think talents were just a game buster. That was such a change that added so much more diversity without changing what Dota is. And I think these other objectives get us a little. We were getting a little too close to that, like, Heroes of the Storm territory, you know. And I'm so glad that shit was dialed back.
Yeah, I think removing shrines was a really, really important part of that. It was just like you had like multiple bases outside of your own base, kind of, where you could just set up shop and the other team couldn't really push you out of there. I like the outposts in theory. I feel like they're not quite as impactful as I would like. Like the vision just feels kind of, what's the point, right? Why even give it vision? It's so small and so tucked into an area.
It does feel pretty underwhelming, but I feel like the outposts and shrines have kind of been ubiquitously broken since they were introduced, and they've just been getting more and more balanced. So I'm a little bit okay with having them undertuned, and maybe they need a little buff in the future. That's a refreshing kind of change of pace for me. Do you remember high ground shrines, dude? I mean, it used to
when
be...
there was 5, yeah.
It used to be like bad. So I'm okay. You know, I'm cool.
Oh, man. That patch where people would try and push high ground, somebody would pop like 3 of the shrines, then you just sit there in fountain basically at the front of your base. Yeah, it was good times.
I did think, though, that there might have been a spot to maybe leave 1 or 2 GPM talents. I wish I had a really good hero example to make this case, but in the same way that I think, as a general rule, RNG mechanics are not good for highly competitive games and are not particularly fun to play against or play with. However, RNG is the hallmark of Ogre, and they've found a way to balance Ogre in such a way that he's random, but not too random, but he's still Ogre and you're still rolling a shitload of dice every time you play him. And I think that's cool that he has an identity that's like that. And I just wonder if there's a hero or two that is still suited for sort of a built-in Philosopher's Stone, though. I guess we have to hold that thought as the fight will break out here. The counter smoke initiation from VP goes in hard onto Oracle. Spartan stunned up. He can't do anything. 2 down straight away. No false promise. It's a decent ulti from Bora, but he's going to lose his BKB soon. He does have a double damage on. It's a quick 2 for nil.
He's TPing out. Nope.
Yeah, Bora's TP in. Skylark gets caught, and Skeeter's going to be left behind. It's going to be a 4 for nil cleanup. Remember, before that pause, that started as a smoke from aggressive mode. They found the storm. No one survived, and then they turned it to counter-initiate. Another 2K swing. We could be close to the end of this game here. VP just feel unstoppable.
Yeah, there just doesn't really seem to be any options for aggressive mode to make plays. And when you have the Lifestealer with Mjolnir and Halberd just being kind of cut through like hot butter, you have some serious issues. I gotta say that Zayas has really impressed me this game. He's been setting his team up so well constantly.
Yeah.
And the Nyx Assassin impact has been huge.
It's been a great Nyx game, and you're seeing what Nyx can do when he gets some of that early momentum, especially in terms of items, right? And that's where having the Storm and this Ancient Apparition, like, I don't think you want to pick Nyx in a vacuum. You either want to pick him to counter someone or pick him to combo with someone, because when he gets this early game momentum, when you can get a pretty early Vendetta, it allows you to snowball that much more quickly. You know, he is really one of these momentum kind of heroes, and damn, he's got Yules and half an Aghanims now. This is kind of insane.
Yeah, definitely. And man, I look at this aggressive mode lineup and I just continue to ask, like, where is their playmaking? You know, it's
yeah, I mean, Skylark being stuck on 900 gold, it seemed like they really needed him to get a Blink Dagger. Maybe this Vlad's was a mistake. I mean, Bora going to be caught here. He has the BKB. Will pop it, but not going to be enough to save him. They've already killed Spartan on the other side. I mean, the way that they're able to just isolate this Oracle. The last, 4 fights? We didn't even see a false promise. Spartan just gets caught, dies. They do kill no one there at the end and end his godlike streak. So a little pick-me-up for aggressive mode, but that was a pretty brutal game 1. 30 minutes, VP in control for probably 20 of those 30 minutes.
Yeah, agreed. And that's a really good point about the Oracle as well. Like, this hero is so pivotal to the team fight. Any team fight that he's in, you have to kill Oracle first every time. And it felt like Virtus.Pro did it with ease. Like, there was nobody protecting Spartan. Spartan had to essentially position himself like in his base and somehow be at the fight at the same time, which is impossible. And that's just not the way you want to play Oracle. You want to be able to have a front line that keeps you safe, and then you throw your false promise on them when they get low and move forward as sort of like a phalanx or whatever you want to call it, where you're in the back line as the general, but in this case, not even close.
Yeah, so all right, looking at that gold graph, it was even for a good 15 minutes or so. And VP, it was like they played this one with that mid-game strategy in mind. Like, you know, we don't have to do anything too flashy. We don't need to be ahead. in the first 15, 20 minutes because we know we're going to start grabbing that momentum. And once no one gets an item, once Kuman has Diffusal Manta, this whole thing just gets a lot easier. And it was like we saw this shift where both offlaners were really struggling. And then all of a sudden, they made space for Resolution while they ganked Skylark. And that's what really started to tip the scales. Resolution got to power farm up his Blink Dagger, and Skylark never really had that same opportunity. We can probably see it on the graph here at a certain point. And yeah, it's in that like 15 to 20 minute window. You can see the offlaners just are battling for farm, and then Rezo pulls ahead, and that's the beginning of the end.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you look at Rezo's items at the end of the game, and they look pretty good for a Centaur. You're happy with that in almost every single game.
Yeah.
I also wanted to point out that you said, you didn't want to call it a free storm game, but we look at 16-2-9. Looks like a pretty free storm game.
Pretty free storm game. Yeah, especially if that Beastmaster's not balling, it becomes a free storm game pretty damn quick. So, all right. Well, that's game one complete, folks. It's best of 3, so we're coming back after this short break. VP aggressive mode. VP now leading 1-0. One more win away from moving on to the upper bracket in this quick GSL group stage. I'm Zyori. He's elevated. We'll be back after this break. Stick with us. I wonder, is there a... They gave me these fancy new overlays. Is there a score thing that shows the current score? It doesn't look like it. Oh, it does. Why isn't it refreshing? All right, well, Virtus.Pro is leading 1-0. Already. Might be a short break here.
Shit. Everybody's ready to go.
So they're oh. Okay, something's happening. There we go. Next match coming up in a jiff, folks. right, friends. Welcome back to more Dota 2. Game number 2, VP versus aggressive mode. We're here at the WePlay Tug of War Mad Moon. Not DPC, but even more fun. LAN event happening in Ukraine. We're here on stream 3. I'm Zyori. He's elevated. And, VP, they took game 1. Pretty convincing fashion. Let's see what aggressive mode can do to take us to an ace match. How you feeling after that game 1 there, bud?
I'm feeling that aggressive mode should maybe, channel their name a little bit more and play in a more aggressive mode. We saw 2, like you said, they had like 2 carry farming heroes and then not a whole lot else going for them. And I'd like to see them making plays. I'd like to see them, grabbing something like the Nyx Assassin, obviously banned out this game, but similar stuff. Lil is a player that's known for making plays. Let's make some plays. Let's put Virtus.Pro in the reactionary side of the equation, and then try and take advantage of mistakes that you can, forced errors instead of just having to rely on unforced ones to get a lead.
Yeah. We will see the priority of the Oracle here as now snagged up by Virtus.Pro. Was played by Spartan last game, and we mentioned how key it was for VP's success to have those heroes that can just jump in the back line, like that Storm Spirit, catch the Oracle, and that makes the whole team fight a lot easier from there. Now they'll grab the Troll. You mentioned this combo in game number 1, a core that very much likes to have an Oracle there to back him up, sort of 2 forms of save from a certain perspective with these heroes, and just makes him a very tough beast to deal with. And also interesting that aggressive mode have gone with 2 heroes that they played in the last game, Snapfire and Beastmaster. So they're going to stick to the 2 heroes. I guess they felt like that worked at that last lineup.
Yeah, they seem to believe in these. I know that Lil has been playing Snapfire pretty much every chance he gets in the qualifiers. Beast, I'm not feeling super sold on this hero. I'm going to be honest. I think that this Necro book even is not necessarily the build anymore, perhaps. I'm not totally sure what the build is, but I definitely feel like, maybe the earlier Blink Dagger that you mentioned last game would be pretty necessary. They need to be able to blink on this Oracle and kill him, because if you roar somebody, they're getting saved. It's once again just counters your hero entirely.
Yeah, it almost felt like he needed Necro Book or Vlad's last game. It's like one or the other, because they serve a somewhat similar sort of purpose to get you over that hump so you can get to your next big item. I mean, with Necro Book, you don't really level it up. You just grab the level 1, and then that just gives you extra, farming potential, scouting potential, all that kind of stuff. So it can be a big investment, and if you don't have that space to actually pressure towers, move around the map, if you're not using it to accelerate your farm, there's almost no point in buying it. It's almost like buying a Midas, but then not having any opportunity to use it, and then going, oh, well, I still get the attack speed. It's like, well, yeah, kind of. I mean, yeah, for a premium.
Yep, agreed. I wanted to go back just to the Nyx Assassin real quick. That win by Zayats is now putting Virtus.Pro at 6-0 on the hero in the last month throughout the qualifiers. So probably a good ban by aggressive mode to take that one out. Not give Zayas any more of these sneaky heroes, although they do leave in, stuff like the Treant Protector, which he's also known for. Will we see a Zayas techies? Probably not, but it would be fun.
It would be fun. Okay, another form of save and some potential initiation in the Shadow Demon. Definitely a nice hero to have against the Oracle. Haven't seen a whole lot of Shadow Demon. I think that's a response to try to deal with the Oracle. That's my best guess, is now Earthshaker gets picked up so that VP gets some long-range stun of their own.
Yeah, I don't see necessarily like the immediate impact of the Shadow Demon. It's not like, oh, wow, that's an amazing pick. Being able to disrupt the troll if he presses R, or the troll's target if he presses R, for example, is definitely good, and having a save is always something that you want on your team. But poison is dispellable by Oracle, so it's not like you're going to pick this hero to be able to dominate a lane. Not totally sure how I feel about the Shadow Demon. I do like this Earthshaker, though, on the other side, because it gives you a long-range stun to stop Snapfire's ultimate, which is something you definitely need. And, of course, once you do get the Blink Echo, you've got a lot of summon units from Beastmaster to be able to take advantage of that with.
Yeah, you're right. Shadow Demon Oracle is sort of this weird... in the lane, Oracle has kind of the advantage for the reason you mentioned. He can easily just deal with poison. But then once the ults come out, Oracle, Shadow Demon can purge Edict and Purifying Flames. Obviously can't purge the False Promise. I guess, is it even really a counter? I don't know. I'm really trying to justify this Shadow Demon, and I guess I'm still not quite seeing it. I'm in the same camp.
Yeah,
And Bristleback right into a Viper. So VP, little hesitation, went, okay, yeah, Bristle's a good hero. He does have a hard counter, though.
Viper is it. And it's looking like a pretty good Viper game so far. Gives them a lane dominator, perhaps. They didn't have last pick anyway, so might as well grab your mid now, especially when it does counter the Bristleback. No one is known for a very nasty Viper. I'm interested to see whether he goes for probably like a pseudo right-click Maelstrom Dragonlance-ish build. But we have seen it in the past as like the hard farming Nether Toxin. Even the Atos Rush was cool back in the day, but not what we see these days most of the time.
Yeah, the builds always, the hero looks and acts kind of like Venomancer, but the builds are sort of similar. You want a mix of mobility, some survivability, and with Viper, there's a point where you do need a little bit of extra damage. But Hurricane Pike, I think, is generally a fairly robust item on a hero like Viper.
Yeah, I do like the combo of the Earthshaker and Viper for mid lane kills. So aggressive mode, needing a mid hero, probably going to have to opt for something with a lot of mobility. I'm actually surprised that we haven't seen any Void Spirit picked or banned so far, because that's really been kind of the hero of the patch in the mid lane. But maybe something like that or a Puck for aggressive mode would make sense against this Viper.
Yes.
Void Spirit, not against the Viper necessarily.
Puck against the Viper, sure. They ban out the Naga, but I'm looking at this aggressive mode lineup. Like, what is their win condition? They don't have late game, even no matter what these picks are. I mean, they could pick OD for aggressive mode. 10th pick could be really, really strong. But how do they push? How do they take objectives? VP have Troll, so they can scale. They can take objectives. They can crush towers. They can team fight.
5 seconds remaining.
You make a good point. It feels awfully similar to last game, where it's like, all right, we get ahead and we run at them, or we just lose the game. At Virtus.Pro, again, they've got early game ganks with Earthshaker. They've got mid game with Viper. They've got late game with Troll Oracle.
I hate these early mid-game focused lineups that also don't have someone that pushes well. Like if they last pick Death Prophet here, then I might like this lineup a little bit more, because you've got someone that can play up tempo and actually secure you objectives. Now, I don't think DP is actually a good pick. Maybe Pugna, something like that.
That's so all in.
Well,
Jesus.
Aren't they already all in, though? I mean, if you pick OD here, I do think OD might be the one trump card. I'm a little bit obsessed with him in the 10th pick slot right now, but it's just so game-breaking. You last 30 minutes, and you can... There it is.
There it is. Yep.
There it is.
Yep. That seems like kind of the only pick they could make to salvage what they have. Good against the Underlord, good against the Troll, good against the Earthshaker. So certainly the pick, but you got to imagine that Virtus.Pro is ready for this. They are big OD players themselves, and
I'm surprised they didn't ban it. The Naga ban is like, she's annoying, but I think you still have a wink. I don't know. Either way, I'm a little bit torn now, because I think overall VP have a better draft. I do think Underlord is pretty strong right now. I think this Bristleback is not going to pop off the way they want him to. Based on the Beastmaster from last game, we'll see if Skylark can turn it around, but that was rough, you know? So to me, this is, all right, Bora, woo, we need you to have one of the best OD games you've ever had, and then we've got a chance at winning this thing. So I'm still going to go in favor of Virtus.Pro for game 2, but, you know, if we get this game like 40 minutes and Bora is top 2 on net worth, you know, he's up there with the Troll or the Viper, I could definitely see that Insanity, what is it? The Eclipse? Insanity's Eclipse?
Sanity's Eclipse, yeah.
Sanity's Eclipse? Fuck, dude.
Yeah, it can definitely delete some people. At the same time, it gives the OD pick gives them 2 different saves, right? Now they've got Disruption, they've got Astral.
Very good point.
Both of those set up really nicely for Pit from the Underlord, and then a Pit into the Nether Toxin. So it's almost like a save that kind of works for Virtus.Pro to some extent. And
yeah, that's an interesting angle on the Underlord. Just it's a counter to the counter of like OD Ags and Shadow Demon with the constant disruptions. So, all right, cool. Yeah, I got a Pit of Malice ready and waiting for you. No problem. I guess
I do really like
a little bit similar
pick.
Too.
I like the OD pick, but I also really like this Underlord pick. I think, you know, a bit of an underrated hero. It's been picked up some. It looks really awful sometimes, especially against like the Slarks that were super popular. But in this game, I think it looks pretty damn good. You got the percentage-based damage from Firestorm against Bristleback. You do have this Pit to offer control for your Viper and Troll. And it's going to allow Zayats to roam around and maybe set up kills and kind of massacre this OD's early game, which he desperately needs to have a good one.
Yeah.
By roaming mid constantly with the Viper.
Yeah, I'm definitely an Overlord fan. I've wanted to see this hero work for a while. I know his win rate in pubs it was up at least a couple weeks ago. I don't know if it's stabilized a bit since then. I think in terms of lane matchup, it's also a good read, a pretty heavy melee. You know, they've got these 2 big melee cores. Very confident Bora is going to take the OD mid, and Underlord loves these melee matchups. I don't think the Shadow Demon is going to be able to pressure him hard enough. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe the Shadow Demon poison will be annoying. The Oracle is up top, so they won't have that cleanse. But I think Underlord should be able to bring it to Bristle. It's not going to be a free lane for Skeeter, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely not. They are going to start with 3 heroes bottom to secure these bottom bounty runes. So if Skylark's able to grab his, it's going to take a bit of damage, but it will be 3-1. So good start for aggressive mode in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 runes. Take that. And some musical lanes a little bit. They're just going to send Lil straight up top. So it is going to be a 2-on-2 out of the gate. And will be Viper OD. Big boy mid matchup.
Something that I would expect no one to pretty handily dominate, since he is extremely good at both of these heroes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about Bora compared to no one. So I think there might be an experience advantage in favor of no one for sure.
I also just don't feel like Viper necessarily has to play this lane. Like, as OD gets more points than Astral to be annoying, he can just drop Nether Toxin, walk away, get more farm, and he just farms faster than OD. So
yeah,
I think it is probably Viper favored in the long run as well.
I think so. I think it should be. Bottom lane, curious to see how this goes. Rezo with some stacks of sticky as well as poison. That stick is working overtime, though.
Yeah, already 10 charges. Just going to keep it a constant 10, I would imagine. 5 stacks of poison, though. It's going to be a pretty big nuke.
This is kind of a cool take. That first point in Viscous Nasal Goo. You see a lot of Bristles just, nope, it's always Quill Spray. But against the Underlord, it does reduce armor. He's 4 starting armor. He's kind of middle of the pack. But it lets the Bristle trade with him very effectively.
Yeah, and even sets up your Shadow Demon a little bit for the poisons because you slow him down, so easier to hit. I kind of like it. Skylark should have a bit of a better game than last time, not getting ganked right off the bat. But melee against Troll is never the easiest. I think that Kuman should farm, Skylark should farm. That's going to favor the Troll in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. But as you mentioned, this doesn't quite feel like that suicide role that we were talking about. This feels like, you know, a real position 3. Skylark's able to have a presence, knocks off that clarity. That feels good for sure. Rotation mid. Here we go. Zayets blocks out Bora, and this will be an easy kill for no one. There it is. Zayets, the good support that he is, had the opportunity to take it there. You saw him try that swing, but he controlled himself.
What a good boy. He's like, well, you guys picked me up. Want to make a good impression. Normally I would take this, but I'll give it to no one.
3-1-4, a little pie action going the way of no one. Certainly a good omen in my book. And now an invisible Zayat. Skylark blocked in. Oh, no. Gets the fissure on 2. This was dirty. They walk right into the tree line. Zayat finds the angles, and Skylark will actually live thanks to the Purifying Flames heal. Not quite enough damage.
Essentially dead, though, as he's at half health with no regen left. Just an Oov and a magic stick. He's sending out boots. He doesn't even send out any regen. He's going to have to rely on Lil.
Another great block out. A little more damage. The cookie from Lil. That's a nice counter to the Earthshaker.
I love Snapfire. What a great hero. Like, I know it's kind of overpowered right now, but just the design, everything about this hero makes me happy.
She's pretty cool. A pretty novel type hero design. Void Spirit, I'm a little meh. You know, he's a very Thompson hero. I get it. He reminds me of that, like, who's that really silly hero in League of Legends? Katarina, the one that resets and just jumps on people. For some reason, he reminds me of her a little bit. I get flashbacks to my League days, dude. It's bad. I can't touch him.
Yeah, he's kind of like Ember Spirit, but slightly better at the moment in terms of what he does.
Yeah. He is fun to watch. From a caster perspective, I actually don't really mind him. But he's just that classic, you know, glass cannon. If you have control, he's kind of easy to shut down. Solo up top. They trade, Skylark and Solo. Skylark does get that kill first, and now Lil in an odd position here. Does have a couple of stick charges. TP out. Not going to be there. Okay.
Yeah, Zayats, once again, he is very active. Already been involved in 2 kills. Getting pretty good work out of this Earthshaker. Not going to get the bounties, though, in the top lane.
Yeah. Now, I was a little bit wrong about this bottom lane. Rezo has not died, so it's not terrible for this Underlord, but he's definitely not, quote, bringing it to the Bristleback here. Bristle pretty happy diving his tower. They will kill Zayats, looks like in the river up there. So Rezo will be fine. But
get a bit of space now, as well as Bristleback is now alone.
Yeah.
Shadow Demon rotating mid to help out this OD who's suffering pretty heavily against the Viper.
It's a good news for aggressive mode, though. We'll see this disruption here on Shadow Demon. He'll maybe survive this. Trying to find a spot in the trees. Does get into some fog. And now Solo on the run. He should be okay as well. But yeah, since the OD is struggling, you look at net worth, it's nice that the Bristleback is, quote, doing well, but then you look at the Troll and go, oh, right, Kuman has 2 kills, and he's leading CS. Yeah, his net worth is a little bit better. So pressure on aggressive mode to make some plays happen. If things keep up at this pace, it's going to get pretty out of control pretty quick.
It's feeling a little bit like deja vu. We've got Resolution on a hero who really just kind of needs to exist to have impact, and then on the other side you've got Skylark, who desperately needs to have a big game.
Yep, and Shadow Demon just gets destroyed. That's the 3rd kill of the game now for Kuman. And you're right, and even Skylark, he's struggling again. It's better than last game. Yeah, he's got way more net worth than this Underlord, but way less experience. I will miss that kill onto Resolution down bottom. Looks like he got Skeeter pretty low in exchange. But, you know, Rezo's level 6. This Beastmaster only halfway through level 4.
Yeah, you almost have to just give him the tome. Like, give him a lane. Give him something.
Right? I mean, it feels like a support Beastmaster right now, especially without the ultimate. It doesn't feel like an unfair analogy. They're going to dive Lil up top. They'll get an easy kill there. And they get his courier. Oh, Skylark, my man.
He does have phase boots, but
now
he's having to defend a tower by himself at level 4. I don't think this is even happening.
Yeah, look at this great ward up here from the Dire. Pretty deep in enemy territory, but gives vision of any rotation. And they'll see Skylark kind of rotate over. Now, I know Skylark has a tattoo of Beastmaster, but that doesn't mean every game is a Beastmaster.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily Beastmaster meta either.
Yeah. Down bottom, Rezo. Oh my gosh, those quills, they hurt so much when he's got a few stacks of the nasal goo there, but he's good. Big TP rotation. And they stop that Bristle from finding a kill, and now a double damage picked up by Zayet's.
No one going for just heavy lane domination and early kill potential, maxing out poison attack, 0 points in the Nether Toxin so far, so doesn't have the break.
Interesting. And I guess he kind of hasn't needed it.
Yeah, definitely not against the OD. With the rotations starting to maybe try and push some towers, he'll likely start skilling that up, but
yeah,
gonna head back to the mid lane for now and just hold the tower.
I'm curious if he grabs that 4th point in Corrosive Skin right away. Doesn't really feel worth it to me compared to getting Viper Strike or Nether Toxin, but I guess some of it depends on what his game plan is here. Still, the story of this game to me is space for Kuman, and he's got that Diffusal Blade queued up, still farming away. Nice 900 ahead of the Bristle. We'll see a couple of these neutral items come out. The Royal Jelly always feels good, but the Trusty Shovel and be the big winner for Virtus.Pro in this first round of neutral items.
Skylark.
Skylark? He's not even level 6. And they know it because look at that ward. It's got 8 seconds left. What a perfect rotation from Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, really nice. They give away that there's a ward there, but it's about to despawn. Zayet's put that down on his initial rotation to the top lane.
Dude, that's such a sick mind game because you see, and also perfect timing just to grab these bounties. So they'll invade, they'll get a bounty advantage. But you saw Skylark circle that area like, guys, they've got a ward here. So now the mind games are on. They're either going to try to de-ward or avoid that area. There isn't even a ward there. But now level 6. I think he might have actually gotten the tome as Skylark comes back, does set it up onto Zayet's. They burn the big OD ulti for it, though, as Resolution tries to chase down Skylark. Needs one more. We'll have that Soul Ring in a second. Meanwhile, on the other side, Bora gets brought down. Skeeter coming in to join the party. No one does have that Nether Toxin, so they've got to break. And he's falling quick. Does get saved by the disruption, but it won't be enough as he gets brought down. Skylark does fall in the end, and it's a 3-0 aggressive mode. Falling apart quick. Spartan not going to have a disruption for himself. They do lose Kuman. Lil juices him in the front line. They also get a kill onto no one. Holy damage coming out of this Snapfire. She is going to live as Rezo TP's out, and a buyback was used on this Shadow Demon, so that was Spartan. Probably not very costly. Does end up being a gold gain for aggressive mode with all those kills, even though it felt like that was VP's fight at the beginning.
Yeah, it probably still is VP's fight, but the Snapfire Scatter Blast, I think, caught Kuman a little bit by surprise. Just smoked him.
And they'll get Zayet's here. Gets left behind.
Kuman's like, yeah, I've had enough participation in this game for now. Gonna go back to the jungle, hit some creeps, do my job. But I gotta say, it's sort of just game 1 all over again, where VP is playing this draft that probably is slightly less early game tempo than aggressive mode, and they're still the ones taking the fight. to the Radiant.
I feel similar, that although that is kind of good for aggressive mode, I don't think it really changes the state of this game. To me, that felt like VP just overcommitting, and as you mentioned, underestimating the burst potential of the snap fire there when you're deep in the tree line. But OD still pretty far behind in net worth. He's working on a force staff. It'll help, but to me, he feels like Sanity's Eclipse, and that's about it. If this is on cooldown, their ability to find kills at this stage is pretty delicate. Skeeter solo down bottom, but Resolution going to try to help him out. There will be some rotations from both sides. The Cookie almost brings down Solo, but he's going to survive. Even pops the ulti on himself. Now they want to chase down Skeeter. Everyone from VP has joined this party. No one taking a lot of damage from the Snapfire. The Mortimer Kisses bring him down. The damage is unreal as now Zayat's maybe in a little bit too deep. Skeeter caught inside of the pit, but Cookie, it's right there. These Cookies, they're countering everything. Skylark comes in. That's going to be a Primal Roar broken up by Zayat's. Kuman in a little bit of trouble here, but the blind maybe helping him out. A banish, ooh, brought down by Spartan. Big damage.
All right. Well, perhaps we spoke a little bit too soon. This troll getting involved without any real items. VP not really respecting aggressive mode's ability to take these fights, and suddenly it kind of feels like this Bristleback might be a little bit of an issue.
Zayats pops a dunk up top in an attempt to survive. TPs come in. Nope, nobody here. There's one from the Oracle. And Skeeter will be pushed back. Yeah, again, to me, it feels like Virtus.Pro just getting too aggressive, cocky, if you will. Kuman, so close to that Diffusal Blade, might not have made a huge difference in that fight, but definitely not the play to force that when he's so close to his first item. That's a break point you want to fight around, you know?
Yeah, speaking of...
No one, again, initiation mid, Sanity's Eclipse, sets it up, no one. Back-to-back deaths. He's trying to go for this Maelstrom build and a little bit greedier. Of course, a farming tool, so can't really fault him there. But if he had a Force Staff, I think he probably would have survived these last couple engagements. Feels like a pretty useful tool against the Mortimer Kisses.
Yeah, definitely. I really like that smoke play by Spartan, though. They recognize that Virtus.Pro's kind of had this pattern of they take a fight, and then they all three cores split up, and they go farm. And so he smokes mid, sets up for the OD, and suddenly we have a bit of momentum finally for aggressive mode.
Pops a desperation Primal Roar there. Doesn't yield much. And up top, Skeeter does finish off that tier 1 tower. Maintaining that gold lead for aggressive mode right now. And finally, the Diffusal up on Troll. And it looks like he wants BKB and then a Silver Edge queued up. So another tool against the Bristleback, and also just a great item on Troll. I think Shadow Blade is surprisingly good on Troll because he's so positioning reliant. Lets you start off fights wherever you want, kind of catch people off guard. Big fan.
Yeah, definitely. He also has such high movement speed, it helps him take advantage of that.
Mid lane now, a lot of pressure onto no one. Oracle there with the save. Maybe a turn onto Skeeter. Cookie gonna save Lil, at least for now. Kuman going in pretty far. There is no false promise. He needs to be a little cautious here. 3 stacks of poison. And both sides gonna opt to reset a little bit.
I love Dota in the current meta. 10 heroes mid, 15 minutes into the game. Nobody farming, everybody just brawling.
Yeah.
We've come a long way.
A bold play from aggressive mode, though. They walk into the Roche pit at 16 minutes, and with the Bristle, they can kill it pretty darn quick. He's also got the Medallion. That helps. And Dire, they were positioned to contest this, but they make a break for the bottom lane, and this will go down uncontested. Radiant grab Roche, and Aegis will get picked up by Skeeter. They think about it for a moment. But OD opts to give it to their frontliner instead. Now a smoke play from Virtus.Pro. Ping directly on top of no one, but I don't think they're going to find him.
Yeah, both teams scanning there. They did see no one smoked up with the scan. But looks like aggressive mode. Not going to be able to find any sort of initiation. I wonder if Skylark does go for this blink now, or whether he's just going to go standard Necrobook.
Kind of a scattered fight. They don't have Lil. He TP'd to that tier 1. Perfect time for VP to jump in and take a fight. No one getting pretty low. Stands his ground as long as he can. And that'll be the end of the Aegis. Now they get the Beastmaster also. Grammy's here, but her teammates are down. They're looking for another kill onto Skeeter. Limited on break, though, without the Viper, and it's a tall order. They make the call just to back it on up. BKB still in progress for Kuman. A 1 for 2. And a favorable exchange for VP as they also get that Aegis once again.
Yeah, not the best use of an Aegis I've ever seen. Skeeter, they're without a whole lot of backup. Very scattered fight, as you said. And they're still unable to take down this mid-tier 1 tower, which is a huge point of contention. Both teams actually struggling to do so. But you definitely need to break open the map if you want to take Virtus.Pro out of their game plan, which is just to farm up on this troll and have him take over the game in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. You know, I don't love Battle Fury on Troll. I think it's too slow in most games. But this is one of these games where he's farmed so well just with this Diffusal Blade, it makes you wonder if he went for a farming item, how far ahead he could be right now. Still about 2K net worth up on the OD, as well as this Bristleback. I guess the problem for Virtus.Pro right now is no one. He has picked up the Maelstrom, so maybe they can do a little 4+1, give him some space to either push out a lane, farm out the jungle. He can definitely farm a lot more quickly now, and maybe this will be his road to recovery. This BKB will make a big difference.
Yeah, definitely. I am not entirely sure how I feel about the Battle Fury on Troll as well. It does seem like he's had enough space to take advantage of it. But at the same time, if he's not showing up for these fights, maybe aggressive mode just runs them over.
Yeah. It definitely has a psychological impact, right? Like, they see that you're building and they go, okay, he's committing for the late game. Let's play extra aggressive. It's certainly fair. What do you think about, so maybe double pipe coming out? Bristleback has the Hooded Defiance already, and Skylark skipping the Necrobook this time. He's gone Vlad's and also has a pipe queued up.
I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, you have the Bristleback Hood just to make him tanky in the early game. I understand that. Why not just have him finish the pipe? Like, I know he's the carry technically, but I don't know if you need 2 pipes. You're just against the Viper, and I mean, Echo Slam, sure, but Troll, he's going for physical damage, and he's going to be the issue going forward. Where's the Halberd? Somebody get a Halberd, somebody get a Blink, kill the Oracle.
It's like there's Firestorm. There's enough magic damage. 1 pipe is absolutely warranted. I agree, 2 seems almost excessive. And to be fair, Skylark still has it queued up with 1,700 gold, so he might just right-click a Blink Dagger and hasn't updated his quick buy.
I certainly hope so. I feel like they lacked gap close last game. They currently lack gap close. And with the Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker, you need somebody to be able to counterplay this guy.
And no, he buys a Ring of Health.
All right.
Okay. Skylark's committing.
And on top of the pipe, now Skeeter has a BKB queued up. OD has a BKB. What's the pipe for? I have to ask.
Yeah. And now this BKB is up on the troll. I think it's the BKBs are more of a game changer for Virtus.Pro. You see a Dark Rift down bottom. They want to make a play onto Skeeter. All 5 of VP down here. They'll find Skylark instead.
He's caught.
Will the follow-up be there? Defensive disruption. And yeah, they do not want to take this fight. Aggressive, just let it go. All right.
That was like 4 roots from Pit of Malice. The disruption basically just setting him up to get stunned yet again.
Yeah. It's funny how there are so many counterplays here. You've got the disruption and Astral, but then you've got the Pit and the Earthshaker, but then there's also the Grandma with the cookies who kind of counters that. So it really goes back and forth. They will find Zayats, and the Mortimer Kiss is not quite enough. Nice save from Solo, and now they're going to have to back up. Aggressive mode, not able to find those kills. It's a 4v5. Zayats with a dunk does catch Spartan. It's Bora on the run up top, and that's where VP are focusing most of their attention. Mech used by Lil won't be enough to save him. This spread out fight not benefiting aggressive mode right now. Now Bristleback can be isolated from his team. Beautiful Pin of Malice. Cookies pushing him further away, but the damage is there. The break is so damning. BKB from Kuman charging forward. Needs to be a little bit careful. Oh, Kuman. That was brave.
It was something. Definitely. I've never been a troll fan. I think that the fact that you take your most farmed hero and you lose control of it in the middle of team fights is potentially one of the worst mechanics you could have as a carry player. But
it's weird.
It seems to be loved by pros across the board.
Oh, big moment here. Buyback from the Bristle. Now, it was a 1 for 2, and they do get no one. But remember, it was OD and Bristle that went down, and Bristle has bought back. And as the position 1, this is pretty costly. Kill on no one definitely helps. They save their... No, the tier 1 still falls mid. And they're looking for another tier 1 tower kill the other way. Not really in a position to defend. VP probably going to let this go. There is a TP coming in from Kuman, though. Maybe looking to pick off a straggler. Rod of Atos. Follow-up hit. Connects on 2.
Nice fissure, too.
Do they have the damage, though? Aggressive mode are going to turn and try to take this fight. BKB from Kuman. Now turning the focus onto Lil. He'll play Sacrificial Lamb. He dies, and the rest of the team makes it out. And now a
instant
smoke from aggressive mode.
This is getting kind of wild, Zyri. This is just aggressive mode, forcing and forcing and forcing plays. They know they're on a timer, and they're trying to make something happen, especially with this buyback.
Well, with BKB on cooldown, they've got the right idea to jump onto Kuman. They'll bring him down. Easy kill there. It's kind of working. It's an unexpected play, and they do still have the Sanity's Eclipse, so I see why they're trying to make it work.
They're going to check Roche. Not up yet. They need to get more out of this. It feels like they should just start running at these towers. Echo Slam is currently up for Zayats, so we might see something popping off here.
Maybe a kill on Solo. Pops the False Promise. Going to try to live as long as possible. Teammates nearby, but... yeah, he is certainly going to pop here.
I think Virtus.Pro trying to hit the reset button a little bit now. They recognize that aggressive mode is in this sort of like forced push where they have to get stuff done. They've used this buyback on their Bristleback. He needs to get, some tower kills to make up for that. And if VP can just avoid fights, then they should be okay.
1 minute on Roche, and it is scary that, all that said, aggressive mode have only killed 2 tier 1 towers, and one of them they just killed. And on top of that, Troll gets the repair kit. So, not the craziest neutral item, but in the context of this game, being able to delay these pushes, it's helpful. Definitely not a bad repair kit kind of scenario.
Yeah, definitely.
And look at this. There's also a Shadow Blade now. Oh, I'm sorry. That's still the Troll. I thought no one was looking at a Shadow Blade. They're going double break.
So much.
That's overkill, I think. But that's a BKB coming for no one.
Yeah, he does have that finished up, so... feeling a little bit more safe to be on the front lines, to be in these fights against the OD, against the Snapfire. I think the slower pace probably starting to favor VP as they regain control of their jungle, farm it up a little bit more.
Now, I do start to fear for the OD, though. Level 18, so the hammer has gotten quite large. He's about 1,000 net worth behind the Troll. The gap is closing, and his BKB is on the way. So Bora is getting to this point where he is the win condition for aggressive mode. There's no more of this if OD gets there. Now it's if he gets off enough right clicks and finds an ultimate on a couple of heroes. Troll needs to be so careful with his positioning. Fight gonna break out, though. There's the BKB. They
very
find
early.
Solo, or Spartan rather. It's a nice pick. And now off to Roche. No buyback available on the Shadow Demon.
Ooh, this feels like aggressive mode need to contest this.
Scary though. Roche falling reasonably quick, down to about half HP. Aggressive mode moving into the pit. Virtus.Pro backing up, I guess, respecting the potential buyback. I'm a little surprised. No BKB on the troll, so they don't want to force the issue. They drop the scan, see aggressive mode or not in there.
I think you're right, though. This OD definitely giving them a little bit of pause as far as making a play for this Roche. But Skeeter, he's like, thanks for softening it up. Let's try and force the issue here.
Into the pit they go, and Underlord not that nearby. He's going to go try to push out bottom. Pings a coming. Roche down pretty low. VP still positioning like they want to contest this. And aggressive mode also not really committing to the pit. The game of chicken will ensue. Underlord kind of breaking things up a little. They use the cookie onto Skeeter. Now Kuman in onto Skylark. There's an Astral. Very slow to commit. BKB from Kuman. Not going to find much with it, though.
That's a big deal, actually.
VP might just need to back out here. That was his 7-second charge. Still the 10-second ready for no one, so he might have to double as the frontliner.
The weird thing, though, is I feel like VP can still contest because they have this Underlord. They've got the Echo Slam still waiting in the wings. Neither team feeling comfortable taking this Roche.
Understandably so. I feel like we're watching Frogger right now. Both sides
dodging traffic.
Continuing to poke. 4 stabs coming in handy. No one forced to pop the BKB. Now aggressive mode, looking to disengage. I feel like no one really needs a 4-staff.
They need some form of utility or save on top of this Oracle.
And there's the setup onto Solo. Big kill onto the Oracle. Instant buyback. He still has that ulti. BKB back from Kuman. They want Skylark, but the Astral's there. They get the stun, but 4-staff down. Aggressive mode, just have the utility right now that VP can't match. The hammer comes, no kill. Skylark actually the first to fall, but no one does go down. Buybacks used on both sides. Both teams
Troll nullified.
know how important this Roche is. Bora no longer has the BKB. Kuman low, he's going to fall. It could cost their OD. The 4-staff doesn't bring him down. Now Pit onto Lil. He's going to go down next. VP starting to overwhelm them. OD is the big threat, and he does not have buyback. 40 gold short. That's a heartbreaker. Pick up a bounty, and he's going to have it. There it is.
One. At this point, VP probably needs to play it very carefully. They're just going to try and force aggressive mode out.
If they can hold on for 30 seconds, this will give them a big edge. Troll maintaining his buyback, but OD burning it. That will tip the buyback advantage into VP's favor, and it looks like they are holding on. Even with OD back, no BKB, no sanities, he's scared.
Somebody go push the lanes. There's been 10 Harrows sitting around the Roche pit for the last 5 minutes.
You ain't wrong.
A whole lot of nothing. Roche, he's just casually healing back up.
Yeah, he regens reasonably fast, so already back up to about 2/3. Bottom lane, the battle of the creeps here, getting pretty intense. Smoke from VP in the mid. Who are they going to find? Shadow Demon with the 4-staff.
Skeeter's cut off from his team at the moment.
So they got a 4-staff on Lil. They've got a Hurricane Pike on the OD, and they have a 4-staff on Shadow Demon. 3 4-staffs plus the cookie.
Yeah, it's a lot of mobility. I really like this. I'd say that gives aggressive mode the edge here because neither team seems to be able to burst anybody, and the more mobility you have, the better in these long, drawn-out fights.
I just want Viper to buy a force staff. Please. Get the Hurricane Pike, bud. Not only will it save you, but it will give you the ability to chase him down. Look at this Earthshaker. His head is in the right place. Zayet's, he knows. Blink, force, all the way.
Yeah, no one doesn't even have anything queued up right now. I'm curious what he is waiting on. It seems like there is one item to go right now. I think he nailed it.
And Troll, he didn't go for the Shadow Blade. Interestingly enough, he's picked up the Basher. And now looking for a Scotty, realizing that he needs some stats. Roche again. Remember, this is Roche 2, Aegis Cheese.
Lanes are definitely favoring VP a bit. This bottom lane constantly pushing in. Mid was at the tier 2, so quite a bit more vision for VP to work with. And that could be a factor later on, especially as these catapults near in a couple more minutes.
When you look at that net worth, all the top cores are pretty close to each other, but the big gap now is coming in the offlaners. Rezo is building up towards some bigger items here, and Skylark, he's got the pipe. He's still pretty far away from the blink. They're definitely feeling that disparity. Just feels like the Underlord's been more impactful in general. You know, just the presence of the pit in these fights from Rezo has been huge. Forcing aggressive mode to take awkward positions.
Yeah, he's also level 20 now. He's super big on this Underlord.
Dude, he went attack speed also, not regen.
He's got 57 permanent damage. Might as well. He's tanking up and hitting hard.
Damn, dude. He hits for 300. This Beastmaster's hitting for 2.
They see the split up.
So mid lane, oh, Rezo. They do get Lil, but Rezo's looking for the TP out. He makes it solo. He's probably going to get left behind.
77 seconds, no buyback. This is a pretty big opportunity. And they go right into the pit.
It is a 4v4 buyback available on the Snapfire. And there you go. Lil uses it. Set up onto Rezo. Primal Roar. This would be a big kill, and they've got it. Instant buyback there. VP need to be a little careful. They're shedding these one at a time. Kuman has a BKB, and he is going to be forced to use it, I'm sure. Pops the ult. Nice. This is scary. No, doesn't use the BKB. Okay, Troll's dead. Has a buy. VP, one at a time. Not like this. They need to get it together and start taking these fights as a crew. Luckily, Troll has the buyback, but I think this is going to hand over Roche, even if he uses it.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way to contest.
Wow. I mean, that was like a 2K, 3K swing, 2.5.
Yeah, Underlord buyback also being expended for absolutely no benefit at all.
Yeah.
And this is a pretty big deal. Troll's BKB is, what, 5 seconds now already? So he has very, very small window to actually make something happen in these fights.
It's so odd how aggressive mode, like, they live up to their namesake. You have these moments where they don't really look like they're on the same page, and then all of a sudden they do these wily plays that you just don't expect. We saw it in game 1 with that. We lost a team fight, immediate smoke into the Troll when he doesn't have BKB. Rezo makes that TP out. They kill the Oracle, and Rezo's in a relatively conservative position. They just charge him into fog up the high ground. Let's go, baby. They see the Troll. They just dive him under the tier 2. They don't know where his allies are. And it completely caught VP off guard and cost him big time.
Dare I say a little bit of that ad phenom spice?
Yeah.
Just wildly unpredictable playmaking.
And getting to the point where buybacks are starting to cool down. Minute and a half on OD, 1 minute on Viper. And less than a minute on the Oracle and Beastmaster. So both sides pretty even. Troll and the Bristle both have it available. So at this point, 36 minutes, a strikingly even game, and this OD is such a threat that feels like it could be anybody's for the taking. Smoke from Aggressive not finding much.
So close. They almost had an opportunity for the Troll or the Underlord or the Viper there. Just not quite in vision at nighttime. They're definitely hunting, trying to corral VP back into their base.
And will prove successful for the most part. Zayet's chilling in the tree line, trying to keep this lane pushed out as best he can.
Kuman is going to get found here.
Skeeter hopping all over the place. Kuman pops the BKB. TP. He's good. A little scary that your position 1 is just using that BKB to live. I mean, that's certainly a win for aggressive mode. That's now 50 seconds where they can look to pick a fight. But Kuman lives, so not too bad for VP. And no one, he does have that Dragon Lance, so it looks like it will be a Hurricane Pike.
He BKBs, no TP yet. Doesn't have it for 7 seconds. Uh-oh, he's actually going to get found here.
Oh my gosh, what was that? I mean, Beastmaster was nearby anyway, so I don't know if the TP would have been enough, but BKB TP with the TP on cooldown is definitely not going to be doing it. And now the problem with that is he has buyback, right? So even if he buys back, that's 40 seconds, no BKB, and you can't really fight. Not even your buyback is a bit neutered. I will say VP are doing a good job keeping these lanes out, right? They're keeping, like, look at Zayats. Look at where he's been positioned, just trying to cut waves, trying to find any farm that he can. Like, given the state of affairs, VP are hanging on, but they are losing momentum here, Donnie.
Yeah, this is the first time that we've seen aggressive mode attacking the high ground, and they don't have the best siege, that is for sure.
8 seconds still. Okay, 3 seconds now on the Viper BKB. Kuman.
He's been caught bottom.
BKB, TP. Okay. Feels like VP in like desperation mode right now.
It really does. They just seem to be completely lost as to what to do in this game right now. Just trying to wait for that next item, but what is the item that's going to give them the advantage? It feels like Troll, he is at that point where there's just no way for him to stick on people with all these force stats, all the saves.
Yeah.
This is Troll's worst nightmare. Just kited forever.
Yeah, I like his build, though. Scotty for the stats, Abyssal Blade for the lockdown. If he can get these two big ticket items, he'll be in much better shape. Now, we do have to give some credit to VP for dodging fights, and yeah, no one got caught and had to buy back, but that Aegis is like 20 seconds from expiration. So they did maintain their barracks. Their tier 3s are still pretty healthy, and they didn't take a game-losing 5v5 against the double OD. So it might be part of the master plan. Almost getting Zayats here. There's the Blink Dagger, the cookie.
So much space being made.
Dude, Zayats, look, this guy is a baller, dude. Look at this.
There's 3 heroes chasing him. It's going to allow Resolution to take top tier 1 very easily.
He straight uked him. That is the definition of space created. Now no one in some trouble. Bashed. Oracle nearby. Maybe it's Skeeter that's in trouble. He ran pretty far ahead of his team. There's Break. He has the BKB. No one will use his. It's a 5v5 now. BKB used by Kuman. There is a cheese available on the Bristle. Dunk from Zayet. Maybe sets it up. BKB from Bora still available, but they do get out. Good use of the Dark Rift.
No one.
No one. Force Staff saves him. Now OD in deep. Still has the BKB. Cookies. Force Staff again. Another route, though. Bora trying to hold this BKB down to about 50% HP. Magic immunity pretty much gone for both sides. Zayats gets sniffed out as he tries to move into the tree line. Does get the Glimmer Cape. VP have tremendous high ground defense with this lineup. They'll go in onto the Bristle.
The kite is so real.
The kite is real, but the kite doesn't really let you take high ground. Underlord, Viper, Earthshaker are so nasty. Even Troll, they all have this AoE, like creeps just evaporate, and the heroes can't withstand it. This is like a proper stalemate, dude. VP can't really initiate because they're afraid of the OD, and Aggressive can't really initiate because they just can't really catch anyone. There's an Oracle and an Earthshaker to back them up.
Yeah, I'm getting vibes that we could see some tier 5 items this game. I don't know what you think, but
yeah,
it really does feel like VP are unable to leave their base, but aggressive mode are unable to take their base, and I don't really know exactly what is going to break that open other than a massive mistake from either team.
Yeah, a solo catch. Because right now VP are playing with fire a little bit. They're doing a great job pushing these lanes out, but it is high-risk behavior. Exactly like this. The solo Underlord, BKB, not going to use it. And there is going to be a buyback available on Rezo. But, oh my gosh, he's already got a 110-second death timer. Those are the plays they need to make to get to the high ground.
Yeah, no buyback on this Viper for 3 minutes. Gonna BKB bash. Nope.
The amount of mobility is just insane. And so far, these neutral items a little bit underwhelming. The Minotaur Horn on the OD, that's actually pretty cool. So he's now got the double BKB.
Yeah, you're okay with that as an OD, I think. That 1 extra second could be just enough. Ooh, I really like this ninja gear on the Beastmaster. He needs that initiation, the catch, and now he has a free Shadow Blade, basically.
Yeah, I think the Paladin Sword is just kind of a trump card for Troll. Lifesteal, damage. Paladin Sword is sick on this hero. Oh my... A Spell Prism on OD? Are you kidding me?
It's actually going to give it to Spartan.
I'm stunned. I guess the Minotaur Horn for like he just needs to live, but dude, 20% reduction like that's BKB, man. That's a spells and items on the Spell Prism.
I agree. I feel like you just swap the Minotaur Horn in, even though it's a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think Spell Prism on this OD, it just like everything. Your Astral is shorter. You can save people more. And he also has a Hurricane Pike, so he's going to benefit. But you can make a similar case for the Shadow Demon. You know, Blink Dagger, Force Staff. Everybody gets a tremendous benefit.
Yeah, everybody's getting pretty farmed, too. We only have 2 heroes that are below 10k net worth. And Lotus Orb on Zayats. We've got a nice little right-click build starting to kind of ramp up here for no one. He's got the Leveler as well as a Butterfly queued up. Perhaps even finished. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, big setup. Skylark with a great Primal Roar onto solo. Buyback there. Now a spread-out fight. Kuman trying to find a target. Zayats looking to set up on the Spartan for him. Kuman going to go to work. They'll get the kill there. But on the backside, no one up against the world. He'll get brought down. No buyback on him. So this will whittle down to a 4v5. Rezo looking for the escape. He makes it. Another awkward fight. And end of the day, it's a loss for VP, which translates to a gain for aggressive mode. And that opens up third Roche. And I don't think there's any way VP can test this. It's also an Ag's Blessing.
Ooh, give that to the OD. 2 charges of Astral.
I'm thinking so.
Or Bristle, maybe?
Is the Bristle one good enough? No, they're going to give Bristle the Aegis. Oh, they give it to the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, okay.
3 charges of Demonic Purge. Get the hell out of here.
Troll literally can't play Dota anymore. This game is over for Kuman. I actually don't think that he can fight.
I think aggressive mode might have just done it. Look at that net worth jump. And who picked up that Hex stick? That would be Bora. Yep, OD has arrived.
Zayas gets 2 couriers.
Okay.
And potentially the escape?
Yeah. Ooh, he's going to make it out. Okay. All right. He's making some space. It's cute. Now, Viper has the buyback. No, he doesn't have the gold. Okay. Timer's available, but no gold for it. Tier 3 mid, still hanging on.
Repair kit.
Hey, we called that. Now, the Abyssal Blade, Force Staff. Zayats will be okay. They're going to try to turn on to Skeeter, BKB, and Aegis there. The Force Staff chain. It's ready.
He doesn't have any mana. Are there any... Nope, no arcane boots on anybody. So Bristleback, he's going to have to just back out because he doesn't have any spells really to use.
I feel like they're just writing Dota poetry with these Force Staffs. It's just beautiful to watch, and I'm sure infuriating as hell to play against.
100%. When you're one of these carries, you feel like you're the strongest hero on the map, but you can't kill anybody because they're just zooming around. You feel like a boomer yelling at zoomers.
Yeah, dude. It reminds me of the old WoW vanilla phone chain for world bosses, you know? You call this person, they call the next person, all of a sudden you got a raid group. The butterfly on no one is kind of cool. It's a good thought against OD, sort of, but I don't know if the butterfly is that much of a game changer. He's got the Dragon Lance and still no Pike. Why?
What's going on? Yeah.
It's starting to irritate me. I mean, like, it's good to survive, but it's also good to chase, right? You can counter out a Force Staff with a Force Staff.
I'm with you, man. There's 2 forces on VP at the very least, but it doesn't really feel like it's enough.
Well, it's 2 versus basically 4, because there's 3 on aggressive and then the cookie. So, I mean, 2 is okay, but, I mean... We're seeing it every fight. They have about half the push power of the enemy. That's exactly what it feels like.
Man. Skylark, he's hunting constantly with this ninja gear, has the gem as well, so just full vision control for aggressive mode, and the net worth continues to climb, but how do you break high ground? Timeless Relic on this Earthshaker is so scary.
Yeah. That is disgusting, actually.
Do they have any charges of repair kit left?
Rezo? Get that ulti off. Okay, he gets off the BKB, but he still might go down here. Dark Rift, here it goes.
So
they don't have the damage. He's just too much of a big boy.
Oh, they've caught, actually, Boronija in the mid lane.
Bora's okay. Now Skeeter goes in, but again, that break is there, and he's going to evaporate. Holds the BKB. Hex onto Zayats. How's this fight going to go? Radiant right behind Skeeter, but he's falling quick. They give him the cookie. Got the cheese now, and they will keep him alive. Outpost XP goes the way of the Radiant. They've got both. VP completely stuck in their own base. The OD ult comes out. Whoa, that doesn't do enough. What was that?
He had no charges. 0 charges of sanity.
What was that? Are VP going to capitalize off this? That's a huge part of their damage on the Radiant. Zayats does get the false promise. Skeeter jumps in again, feeling confident with the BKB. He is doing a lot of damage and kind of breaking up this fight. They're trying to grab a target. It's the OD. His BKB is still on cooldown, and they're going to find him. VP did lose no one, and it looks like they might also lose solo. Skylark and Skeeter chase him down, but now they want Skeeter. Buyback from no one. It's a really sloppy fight, but Skeeter is going to go down. Kuman also falls to the wrath of Lil. They die almost simultaneously. TP from Lil is successful. We're going to look at the recap, but I think that was a pretty even fight. Both sides lost big cores. And yeah, with that buyback on the Viper, that levels out all the gains that VP had found. But they kill the OD and the Bristleback. Big, big kills.
Yeah, definitely. They're not going to be able to capitalize on it, though, because the troll is dead. And with the buyback on Viper, it does give aggressive mode at least a bit of a win condition for the next few minutes. However, we're seeing it just constant force staff, so much control. These BKBs are almost irrelevant now, used entirely defensively just to make sure that you don't get completely controlled in these fights.
Yeah, I mean, it is still a good call from VP, though, realizing they need to shove out these lanes and using the BKBs to ensure the getaway. It's keeping them in this game. I mean, they still have all their tier 3 towers, obviously all their barracks. VP are hanging on. I think this is rough, obviously, and OD is going to keep on scaling, but as long as they've got all 3 barracks, I think they've got a chance, and this could be big if they find a kill onto no one. BKB, TP, great fissure. Stops Skylark mid-animation, and that does ensure the survival. Now Rezo.
He does have buyback.
Does not have the ulti, and Primal Roar with the Mortimer kisses. There's the BKB on the run. Damn, Rezo's big. 4K HP and something like 45 armor, give or take.
Yeah, he's got the Shaco, Witless Shaco, so big boost to that HP. The AC, the Solar Crest, and the immediate smoke from BP. Looking for a play here, trying to catch aggressive mode unawares. They're going to find Lil.
Oh, Lil is a big pick. Remember, he is 2 of the force stabs and also has a scythe. Lil is a huge part of this team. Almost feels like a core at this point.
Yeah, everybody's a core except for Solo.
Yeah, pretty much.
How many hexes are we going to see this game? There's one on OD, there's one on the Snapfire, there's one queued up for Beastmaster, there's one queued up for Zayats.
I mean, eventually they're going to be able to just lock this troll down to the point that he can't do anything. But, you know, circling back to a conversation we had 30 minutes ago, Kuman, Silver Edge. I think a Silver Edge plus the break from Viper. Having 2 makes dealing with this bristle even easier. And now it seems like positioning is even more important. This is pick off Dota. You know, if either of these teams can find a pick off, that could secure an objective, secure Roche. And Shadowblade is so good for making those unexpected, kind of wily plays as we get closer to that 60-minute mark.
Yeah, definitely. We've already felt the impact of this Ninja Gear on Skylark. He's able to play so aggressively, smoked up with the gem and a Blink Dagger.
Yeah. It's definitely a great item on the Beastmaster. But look at that net worth, and it is starting to come down a little bit. You know, VP are clawing their way back now. A big item on no one. Satanic.
Status resistance against the Roar and all of these scythes. Definitely very important.
Yeah, I love it. And just the reset with the lifesteal, especially with all that attack speed. It might not make a difference here. Okay, well.
Well, if he's completely away from his team, that is a very, very poor positioning mistake.
2 minutes of no Viper, and now Oracle's going to be in trouble. Does pop that false promise, but I don't think he's going to live through this. And VP, all of a sudden, in a pretty tough situation. Oracle does have that buyback. We'll be able to use it if needed.
Roche is up, though, so aggressive mode. They're going to back off.
This is Roche 4.
He's got everything. Imagine the Ags goes to OD this time.
I don't know. Bristles is pretty good, too. The AoE goo, it makes the hero completely mindless. You're just spamming. But they will give it to the OD. Good call. So they take the double Astral.
And he has Refresher, so we're going to see a double Sanity's Eclipse, double Hex, quadruple BKB if you include Minotaur Horn.
Yeah. Critical mass is arriving. And there's that buyback from Oracle.
Right up, seconds left on the Viper.
Right up the high ground we go. 20k net worth lead for aggressive mode. Lotus Orb, okay. 40 seconds till no one's up. VP just trying to make time. Or buy time, rather. They'll get a catch down bottom. Spartan could be a big kill, but Force Staff, BKB used. Kuman trying to commit, and he will find the kill. Now on the back line, Solo just barely lives. Skylark forced to kind of turn tail. Quick pick is nice for VP, but they'll need a little more. Hex on Troll. They don't find the kill with the Sanities.
Oh, he's gonna
now
live.
Skeeter in trouble. He's going to lose the Aegis. Oh, this is bad for Aggressive. They're going in too deep. They get this kill onto Kuman, but he's got a buyback, and the Viper's up in 5. The Refresher Shard has been used. That's OD's second BKB. Does have another Sanities, and now it's a 5v4. No buyback on this Shadow Demon, and Aggressive Mode are finding themselves on the back foot. BKB still available. VP not pursuing too far. Being cautious, as they should, but they hold all their tier 3s. They take some damage, but they hold.
Yeah, base is not cracked yet. And we may finally see the tier 5s. I still have never seen them.
Well, here you go. Another fight breaks out onto no one, but this time you can feel the status resistance. He pops the BKB, wants to go in onto Bora. 4 stabs, magic immunity all over. Hex does come out, but Bora eats a cheese. This is all he's got. BKB down for 10. Another defensive Astral. He's buying a lot of time, but he's isolated. Great stun from Zayets. They're trying to finish him off before he can get off that next Astral, but now the BKB. This is going to be a tough kill to find. Troll gets the bash, and they've found it. BKB, or pardon me, buyback is available on the OD. Holding it for now is now they found Skeeter. It's Skeeter versus 5, and there will be no hope to survive. VP not only hold on, but reclaim some footing in this game. The spoils from Roche now spent, and the big boys are on the sideline.
Yeah, and just like that, 23K down to 16K, but what is net worth at this point in the game? It's all about these buybacks. Resolution is now hitting for almost 500 damage, and he's got an Abyssal Blade queued up.
Oh, wow. 92 bonus damage. Yeah, he is actually a legitimate right clicker, especially if they pick up a kill in these fights. He gets that temporary aura. He's doing dumb damage, dude.
You almost have some level 30s coming out, too. That's where things are going to get real wacky.
That's very true. 3 heroes, level 28. OD, Bristle, and this Underlord. Buybacks available. 30 seconds. They'll use the glyph. No one has the leveler. A situation where this item might actually do something.
Look at that attack speed.
And VP once again,
pause.
2 for 2 now. We'll take a pause in a pretty crucial moment. A little Kale. Okay. This is tough for aggressive mode. Right now, OD's like, I do not want to buy back with 10 seconds left. And it's 60 minutes, only a tier 3. VP, don't force any buybacks here.
By the way, Zayets did buy out, so no buyback currently on him because of gold. He picked up the Hex, so that plus Timeless Relic, Earthshaker is like an entire team's worth of lockdown in one hero right now.
2 smokes.
And 60 minutes. Here we go. Who gets the items first?
Lil with the spider legs. They're looking for a gank. Solo, oh, just barely. Does have a false promise here. He'll be forced to use it. Solo does not have a buyback. This is a huge pick. And there's no way he survives.
Kuman, go hit some creeps. They need items. Oh, there's one. Book of the Dead.
Okay, Book of the Dead. What do we got here? Summons 2 sets of level 3 Necro units. I have actually not seen this one before. They last 75 seconds. And there will be one the other way. I think this is a huge pickup for aggressive mode. They have been struggling to break these tier 3s, and now they actually have an item that helps them do it. An Apex now coming out for aggressive mode. And it looks like OD wants that one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how much? Almost 4,000 mana with no charges yet on Astral.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Okay, and now the Woodland Striders here on Bristleback. Oh my god. They just got some sick tier 5 items.
Yeah, only one for VP still. They can't get out of their base to get more items. This is a really big deal.
The Ballista?
The Ballista.
I think you give that to Snapfire, maybe?
Man, I don't know. It's like so good on OD, but you can't give up the Apex.
I think the Apex is too good.
Yep.
Yeah, and these are the breakpoint moments now in Dota where I'm sure Aggressive know it. They're like, yo, we're clearing the jungle. We're in their jungle. I doubt they have any neutral items. Like, this is a time to go. This is a pedal to the metal kind of moment.
Yeah, Rezo has buyback. This is where you just say, hey, rift yourself to top and go find some items.
Yep. I also think if you're aggressive mode right now, you think about, okay, Troll's buyback is still on cooldown. Oracle's should still be on cooldown. We've got everything. Let's go. Let's force something right now. And if we can kill this Troll, we basically end the game. And aggressive mode not going to live up to their name there. This is when things start to get hinky. They want to see this Roche timer. Well, okay, they won't be able to see it. They want to get a feel for this Roche. Still a minute 15 till we see the timer.
Oh, no. No drops from the Ancients. The 3x chance to drop 0 items for no one.
Okay, here we go. The Seer Stone. Cast range, vision bonus.
Sounds great for Oracle.
Yeah, 350 cast range. Plus his 150 cast range talent. Okay.
Yeah. Replaces the magic lamp, thank God. The worst item in the entire game.
Look at the cast range on False Promise now. It's off the screen. Okay. And what's the Trident?
It's the Sanjasha Kaya.
Oh, okay.
And Strider's also picked up, so both teams have all of the neutrals now that they can get.
Who's taking the Striders here? Anybody? Yeah, it's going to be Troll. That's pretty nice for him.
HP regen, yeah.
Well, and also the movement speed. Like, he's been struggling to stick on targets, so I think he'll take... he's just drawing a happy face.
Permanently hasted, pretty much. Feels pretty nice.
Well, we are officially in like a Clown Town territory here. There's a Eon Disc now in Shadow Demon, and Bristle, he says, guys, the only thing better than 2 butterflies is 1 Monkey King bar. So he's now got some extra damage, playing the proper carry Bristleback here. He wrecks. And they want Roche. It'll be a minute 15 till Roche is up.
Still nobody level 30. Bristleback, the closest one. I'll give him his level 30 is not great. The quill stack, I guess, maybe, but
the spell lifesteal is nice. I think that's the only one you really care about. The quill stack damage, okay, yeah, you know they're not bad, but it gives him a lot more sustainability in these fights. That's for sure. A break point that you will feel. Although, I guess against the break, how much does it really matter? His whole game now seems to be, I have magic immunity, they can't break me, or I don't have magic immunity and I die immediately.
Yeah, I actually think potentially the best level 30 talent tree is Shadow Demon. You get 500 extra damage per charge of Demonic Purge. You get the Soul Catcher Illusion and the cooldown.
Yeah, he's dope. And what about Troll? Yeah, evasion.
It's kind of meh. Kind of meh.
Bit underwhelming. Earthshaker gets a little more annoying. All his are kind of nice to haves. I think most notably that Totem cooldown.
Yeah, needs the Ags, though, to take full advantage of that.
I mean, the way this game's going, though, Roche is up. It is totally possible for him to get a blessing. And looking at buybacks.
Smoke in.
All cooldowns available, but some heroes short gold. OD being the only core. And baiting with no one a little bit here. Smoke up from VP. Double damage rune, though, on the Bristleback. Not the time they want to force this. And Rezo kind of goes in, just slowing things down. Still 2/3 duration on the double damage.
These Striders, man. What the heck?
Cruising. Bristle doing a lot of damage to Roche, but still so afraid. I mean, both teams have such great Roshan lineups.
Yeah, but Kuman, he had to go back and defend this double catapult wave, so he's not in position at all.
Yep, it is probably going to go the way of aggressive mode. And there it is. Oh, no, Rezo. That's not the play. He just walks down. Hex into stun. Force stab to the high ground. That'll save him. Great support play from Zayets. Aegis in the hands of Bora. BKB used by Skylark. Front line looking for a target. Dark Rift used. Rezo just trying to make some space. He'll be fine. So who got the synth this time?
Let's see. OD has one.
Shadow Demon had one. Nope. It's going to be Bristle. Okay, he's got it, and he's using it right now.
Yep.
And there it is.
34k net worth. That's mostly for those ag synths, actually, at this point.
Yeah.
3 of them on one side. Perhaps more importantly is this refresher on Beastmaster. So double Roar is available, as well as double Bloodthorn.
Ooh, double Bloodthorn is scary, but bottom lane, they're going to set up onto Skeeter. They sniff him out solo. He hangs onto the cheese, but they combo him down. That is a huge pickoff. See a line drawn at the base. Does have buyback available, and now VP, they're going to push out bottom and maybe shove out mid. There's that double Necro book.
Got so much gold just being fed.
Yeah, I think against a lot of lineups, it's great. Against this lineup with how much AoE creep clear they have, it's pretty ass. Not that gold matters that much at this stage anyway, but it matters some. There's still a ways to go. We've still got moon shards to buy, you know?
We certainly do. Let's see, Troll sending himself the first component of a nullifier. I guess probably replace the diffusal with that. That could be a pretty big deal. I'm still just looking at Zayas here with this Timeless Relic Hex. He is so scary. You gotta jump the Earthshaker, it feels like. Otherwise, how do you do anything?
And the Dire Book of the Dead getting some creep momentum up top. Kind of a shame, though, that VP can't seem to do anything with this. They won't breach high ground any more than they have. They won't force the buyback, and obviously Roche on cooldown for quite a while. They don't even get the Aegis or anything like that. The pick on the Bristle will just be a respawn, and now aggressive mode will still have 2 minutes. Play around with this Aegis and try to make something happen.
Resolution picks up a Daedalus, determining that it is right-click damage that his team is missing.
I mean, I don't even know how crazy it is. He's got the attack speed. He's got the Abyssal. Like, he has lockdown. Pit of Malice Root. He's almost level 30.
Sure, why not?
I'll tell you what, though. He is super pissed right now he didn't go 6 atrophy or extra damage. The cast range is so good, and I would get it 9 times out of 10, but just seeing how this game is played out, that would have been so valuable. Skeeter, again. Look at this crafty player on the Dark Rift. They got him. Looking for more. Solo. Find Grammy. Lil isolated from the team. TP out. Kuman.
Instant bash.
See you later, Alligator. So that's 2 down. VP making it work with the Dark Rift. Getting creative.
Yeah, I like it. This is where these global mobility tools start to become really impactful. Dark Rift. We don't really have any boots of travel yet, which is kind of surprising considering we're 70 minutes in and everybody seems to have like 6,000 gold saved up.
Yeah, Trolls replaced his treads, hanging on to that diffusal, and now picks up the nullifier.
Yeah, Striders is his boots at this point, so makes sense to me.
Okay.
You have to be careful of this Beastmaster top lane.
Buyback from Lil. Yeah, this is kind of an awkward movement now from VP. TP home from Skylark and Bora. They pull back the Book of the Dead.
They found Solo.
And Spartan get the TP in. No, they cancel it, actually. The level 2 BOTs, and they're just going to let Spartan die. Thought it was a free pick on Solo, but they go back the other way, and now Spartan's down. Buyback is available. And this Bristleback up in about 10 seconds, but VP whittling their way into an advantage. Hex, now they go in onto Bora, Force Staff, buyback from Spartan.
Aegis is reclaimed, so no longer that's safe for him to be on the front line.
This game of chicken continues. A 5v5 now. VP light on cooldowns. We'll have the Oracle ult momentarily, but no Echo Slam for over a minute.
This Underlord, man, 124 bonus damage now, level 30.
So we had this moment in the, quote, late game where it kind of felt like everyone's a core. Shadow Demon with all these items. Ooh, hold that thought. Maybe a fight going to break out here, Bora. A few right clicks. False Promise does come out. Rizzo misses the pit, but they still jump in. Defensive Astral. All 10 heroes grouped up here, but Skylark taking big damage. Disrupted and cookied back. Now his BKB's deployed. Skeeter in pretty deep. Kuman needs to be somewhat careful. He's taking a lot of damage here. He's hexed. He's hexed. He gets off the ultimate. Kuman still alive somehow. Skylark now buys back. Spartan falls. They do end up bringing down the troll. Skeeter doing a lot of damage in this backline. Bora with the BKB on. It's a big hammer. It connects on 3. The triple kill from Bora. Outworld Devourer has arrived, and he's got the big damage. They're trying to reinforce, though. VP are all in. B buybacks. TP's in. They need to find these kills. If they die here, this game could end. Aggressive mode with their buybacks. They don't have Spartan. They're at the disadvantage. Bora does not have the ultimate, but he's in the back line. He's trying to right-click. All of them sustaining. This Viper's still alive. The Satanic's there. Kuman finds him in the trees. They don't have that second reset with the disruption. Now Lil falls. It's looking dark for aggressive mode, and Bora's down. That's going to be it. It's Virtus.Pro that clean it up. They do lose 2 to the Bristleback, but they bring them all down and have salvaged themselves a fighting chance in this game at 73 minutes.
Yeah, only one buyback. It is the Bristleback, but he is up against the break of the Viper, and Resolution hitting for nearly 1,000 damage right now.
Going to start to tinker away, but there's the Rapier picked up by the Bristleback. He runs out of the base, and he is going to try to make a God-tier play. He is level 30. I doubt he'll be able to do it, but let's see. He gets hexed up behind the tower, and he's dead. Okay, well, and that's going to be game. Skeeter will go ahead and just disconnect immediately, and after 75 minutes of gameplay, Virtus.Pro will take the series 2-0. It looked like a game they might be able to run away with, but in the end, they went all in. They had that buyback advantage from the pickoffs, and it was enough to secure them the series.
Wow. That was, I'm glad. That was the first time I've ever gotten to cast a tier 5 item game, and I'm not disappointed. It was very back and forth. Resolution 3-shotting Skeeter at the end there to seal the deal. Love to see it.
Yeah, that was brutal. I mean, I don't think Skeeter was going to be able to do much there at the end anyway. It is a tall order against all those items, all that control, but certainly a heartbreaker to see that Rapier just hit the deck immediately. I don't he didn't do anything. But wow, I mean, end of that game, VP were still behind, excuse me, by like 12K net worth, something like that. I mean, that was just your classic. We're ahead, and we're so far ahead, we have forgotten how to break high ground. It's the bane of OD, man. That hero just sucks at hitting buildings. He doesn't take objectives.
Yeah, and with all the saves, all the control, it doesn't really matter when you're fighting on your side of the base in a defensive position. Those Boots of Travels, the buybacks, VP just showing a little bit more discipline in how they managed it and how they re-engaged in that fight.
Absolutely. Well, an exciting series here, Donnie. I think that's it for us today. The rest of the WePlay coverage will be on the main stream, and then I think the secondary stream now that the 4-match madness is finished at the beginning of the group stage. So a lot of Dota to look forward to. We still have so many days of this tournament, but this was a hell of a series for us to cast. I think we kind of lucked out, man.
Yeah, I had a good time. Super glad to be able to do that, and glad to finally cast a game with you.
Yeah. It's been too long, dude. Hopefully we'll get to do it again. Shout out to WePlay for giving us the opportunity. Always a pleasure to be here, and hope you all continue to support their content, their memes, and all the amazing stuff that they're going to have coming out on the mainstream today. If you enjoyed the cast, of course, give us a follow on Twitter at ZioriTV, and I believe it's at Elevated Dota.
Alchemy Elevated, but good enough.
At Alchemy Elevated. There you go. You found it. Thank you so much, folks. Enjoy, because we're done. And I will figure out how to update these overlays. We've got our group stage standings here. It looks like updated from the first heat, not the second. Would you believe that Secret beat Bait?
You don't say.
And there you go, folks. There's your final score. VP 2-0 over aggressive mode. See you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.